play it. Shut this off. I got to charge it later. Hello, YouTube. Is me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome to another live stream. This is happy Columbus Day. So you all that celebrate that, Indigenous Tribe Day. And in Canada, happy Thanksgiving to all my Canadian subscribers and viewers and my friends on Facebook. Yeah, have a good one. Our Thanksgiving's not till November, but I'm doing another horror film. This is from the 80s. This is the original Pumpkinhead. Yes, 86 minutes long, the collector's edition, a Fox release. So this is not on Disney Plus, but I think it's available on streaming, and you can watch your physical copy if you're going to watch it with me. So let's do this. Hopefully the Wi-Fi holds. I'm really hoping. Yeah, Comic-Con's in about 3 days, so I won't be doing a podcast Thursday or Friday. Just to let you know, I will be doing a Comic-Con haul when I get back, but that's about it. That's not going to be live. That's going to be recorded. Oh, no, this is an MGM movie. Fox had just redistributed this movie. I mean, the rights, because it's MGM. I haven't seen this movie in years. A Lion Films. Josh has never heard of this. The best one is the first one. The second one is decent as well, but after that, just stop. You don't need to see 3 and 4. They're not good. They're bad TV movies. Stan Winston, may he rest in peace. One of the greatest makeup effects guys ever of practical effects. He's the reason why Jurassic Park looks so good. Pumpkinhead. It's funny, his name is Pumpkinhead. His head is not a pumpkin, though. Lance Henriksen, he's the lead in the movie. You got Jeff East in the movie. I think there's other people in the movie. There's a girl in the movie. John D. Aquino. Yes, he was the president in Cory in the House. Didn't like him in that, though. He was Kimberly Ross. She's the main girl in this movie. Joel Hoffman. And introducing Cynthia Bain as Tracy. So this is her first film. And Carrie Ressman as Maggie. So there's like 3 girls in the movie. So that's nice. Yeah, this movie, I saw it. I bought it on Halloween, like back in 2013, I think, or 2015, something like that. It was back in the 2010s, and it was $5 and at Best Buy. This is when Best Buy was still around and sold DVDs, and I got it. I was like, wow, this is actually pretty good. It holds up. I think I saw it on cable once, so I wanted to see it again. And there's a commentary, and I heard the commentary. Yep, Alec Guinness and Tom Woodruff Jr. worked on the effects, and the creature looks great. It's a rubber monster, but it looks better than any bad CGI. Let me tell you. When you see movies like this, you forget how good effects can be with a low budget. You don't need $200 million. This movie costs less than Joker Folie à Deux, and it looks better. And it's like an hour shorter. And it gives the people what they want. It's got a cool creature, simple premise, easy horror, and it's under 2 hours. So that's good enough. Winston also wrote the story, yeah. Inspired by a poem by Ed Justin. The screenplay, Mark Patrick Carducci and Gary Garani. Italians. That's nice. Yeah, today's a holiday. Some places are closed. Libraries, schools, office buildings, a lot of places. I was wrong. The banks are open today on a day like this. Here we go. We start in a cornfield in 1957. Yeah, the movie starts kind of slow. It doesn't start with the monster right away. But it does have, it's got slow buildup. It doesn't take an hour for something to happen. So this is kind of, it starts as a period piece, and then it works its way into the modern era. Is this in the South? Let me see, because they have Southern accents. Carver, you'll learn it. Cooper and Buck's teens. Yeah, it doesn't say where it takes place. It's probably the South. I'm just glad it didn't rain today because I didn't want to get wet. Last year I got wet at Comic Con and I was sick. I got a cold. I'm just happy that I got a lot of horror movies to do. See, it's not hard to do a live stream. You set it up, you put the time, you put the date, you get a movie on your DVD or Blu-ray, you put it in, you play the movie, and you go live. It's that simple. It's not hard. It's not rocket science. It really isn't. I don't know why some people have a hard time doing that when I'm like, yeah, you don't have a laptop. You got a phone, use it. Use that. Just don't get a copyright infringement. I know that's probably what you're worried about. I'm not, because this film has atmosphere. It's not hard. Just pick a movie and go for it. You're not going to get canceled by going live. People need to hear you longer, no matter who you are. Just don't preach and don't do anything violent or sexist, and you'll be fine. Just saying, guys. I've been doing these podcasts for a long time, and I never have any fear because I've started way back in 2019 by myself. I did Iron Man. What a way to start off my live streams on my own with the first MCU movie. And I got many to come to do podcasts for, but I'm not doing them all. I will never do a podcast for Eternals or Black Widow because it was just painful. I choose the movies and shows that I want to do a podcast for, whether it's for 20 minutes or for 2 hours. It's my decision, not the algorithm. For goodness sakes, for goodness sakes. Yeah, this is not a Pure Flix movie. Heterosexual guy. Good afternoon, John. Yeah, thanks for saying that. Unlike I always do what I did last summer, this movie doesn't have an ending that took me out of it. No, because it has a the creature dies and it's over, and then they have the sequel where I forgot, I haven't seen it in a while, but what's the thing called? Yeah, this doesn't have a downbeat ending. I don't like downbeat endings in horror films. It takes me out of the experience. It's not always going to be a happy ending, but you could have a bittersweet ending and not piss me off. It's been a while. There's a creature. You see it 8 minutes into the film, not 2 hours or an hour and 20 minutes. You see the creature for a brief second. There's the creature. It's a guy in a suit. It's like the Predator or the alien from Aliens, because it looks better when it's like that. There's Len Rand. Also, he's the kid from the beginning. This is like 30 years later in the 80s. I can't take this sign at Comic Con because the artwork is damaged, and I have to get the Blu-ray to get it signed. I don't have any tissue, so that'll have to do. Sorry about that, guys, but Tremors, I want to get that signed at a Comic Con one day or a horror convention, if they have any in Manhattan, because I've never been to a horror con. I've been to a sci-fi con and several comic book conventions since 2018. Looks like the kid that played Froggy in Little Rascals. It's not him because he was a kid in the '90s. And the thing is that Stan Winston, Lance Henriksen worked with a lot of creature effects because he did Aliens and he did Predator 2, I believe. Did he do Predator 2? I don't remember. And he was also an AVP, so he's done movies with creatures. He wasn't in the original Predator, I know that. And he was also in Terminator, the first one. But I don't remember if Henriksen was in Predator 2. Hey Josh, you just made it. We're about 10 minutes in, so the creature just showed up and we still got a few more. There's the dog. This is a cult classic because I mean that's why I got a sequel in the '90s, the early '90s. But I didn't see I stopped caring after the second one because the third one and fourth ones are so awful because they're TV movies. They're cheaper looking designs. You can't beat the originals. You can't. He's cute. I got a lot of stuff to show for after Comic Con, and then my next haul will be on Black Friday. I'll show you guys the stuff that I got in late October and early November because bet Target's not going to have anything good, so I have to go somewhere else for my Black Friday shopping. Get me a beer, not please get me a beer. Don't guys have manners anymore? Say please and thank you. It's not those are the magic words, guys. Please give me a beer. Please do my laundry. Please throw out the garbage or something like that. Don't say you better do it. No, because then women want to be treated with respect. There's a cute brunette in this movie. Who drinks while they're driving? You're not supposed to do that. It's called being under the influence, and that's a DUI, which will cost you. I don't even drink while walking because I don't want to get sick. Where is this place? I don't know. Is this like Texas or something? Because it doesn't look like Tennessee. It got big mountains, so I really want to see the license plate because this looks like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. Where the location because they're in the South. I'm really trying to look because I could check on my phone, but that cute kid, he's probably my age now. He's probably in his 40s or close to it. He's like 40 something because he was a kid here. I was a baby in the '80s. So wait, let me see this license plate. It's going too fast. Where? Oh, look at that guy, hillbilly. Because I don't get offended by people from the South. I have family members that live in Florida, and my aunt is white with red hair like Karen Gillian, and she has a Southern accent. She's from Alabama. Wait, where's that? Where's that license plate? I'm trying to see. That says New York, but no. What about the other license plate? Did they show it? I'm gonna have to look it up because it's gonna bother me. Puppy, puppy! Because I couldn't do the Puppet Master movies. There's so many of them that I just don't want to do all of them. It's just too much. Let me just look it up. No, get out of here. Terrifier 3. Hmm. You label your containers. I don't label them. It was filmed in Los Angeles, but where does the movie take place? North Carolina. Okay, so North Carolina town. I told you it was the South, so that's not far from where you are, Josh. North Carolina is actually close to Tennessee. Well, actually, Tennessee's all the way to the left, but it's closer than where I live. I live in the Northeast. North Carolina is way closer. I knew it was the South. I thought it was Texas. Yeah, North Carolina. I've never been there. My dad drove past that state, but I've never been to North Carolina or South Carolina. Because I like to travel. I want to travel a lot when I'm in my 40s. Uh, in the next couple of So it's North Carolina. I knew it was the South because I know when they have a Southern accent, I can hear it. Yeah, this is not a movie to be afraid of, unless you're afraid of a guy in a suit. Which again, that's a flashback. It's short. It's not 5 minutes long. Hello, beautiful girl. Why do people like to bully? I mean, after Stephen King did this, I'm like, stop putting bullies in movies, guys. It's not. It's not enter- entertaining to see a bunch of adults bully children or teenagers. It's wrong. You're lucky it's not Beetlejuice, or it would have got you by now. They filmed it in California, but it takes place in North Carolina. I guess North Carolina is hard to film in because it's small. It's a small state compared to California. Hmm. Beautiful girl. She looks like she has like a Linda Hamilton type of hairstyle from the 80s. Hmm. And there's no foreign actors in this movie. See, you could have horror movies in the 80s. They knew how to cast people. Now they just say, "Oh, just throw somebody from the UK, from Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon, and that'll do." I know the girl that's playing Supergirl's not British. I get it. She's Australian, but she has to really impress me because the last time we saw Supergirl on the big screen, it was a flop because Sasha Cali was barely in the freaking movie. They put her in the trailer like she's going to be a huge part of the film, and she doesn't show up until halfway through. So that's false advertisement, DC. Please stop doing that. You're losing your audience. At least Penguin is still getting views on Max and HBO. Say. We're about 20 minutes in. See, this is not hard. You see my face, even though I barely have any light in here, because again, the light on my roof is off. My dad hasn't fixed that yet. Once I have light in my room, you'll see my entire room without it being dark anymore. This is a fun movie. I think it's got a slow build, but it like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But when the creature shows up, it's a riot. They're like, why can't I do Alien? Well, Alien Romulus is not on streaming yet. It's not on Blu-ray yet, so I could do the original Alien. So that's where they're taking it from. They're trying to be like the original. Whoopsie. And most of the movie takes place in the daytime. When the creature attacks is at night, but there's a lot of atmosphere in the daytime. And don't worry, this doesn't have a downbeat scene with a kid getting hit by a truck like in Pet Cemetery. That's terrifying. And the original, not the remake. It's just that scene just it's so traumatic, but then it becomes laughable because his reaction is straight out of a cartoon. He's like, no, and it's laughable. I'm like, I was laughing, and I'm not supposed to be laughing at that scene. It's supposed to be dramatic. That poor kid. You see what you did? You see why you should watch your eyes on the road for pedestrians? That poor kid. The kid is not moving. Yeah, you've been drinking again. You shouldn't drink and drive or ride a bicycle or a motorcycle because you're inebriated and you can't do anything. And Josh, you don't drink. And so what do you got to worry about? You got nothing to worry about. I've seen people drinking and smoking and vaping on camera. Trust me, I have a lot of subscribers and I've subscribed to a lot of channels where they do that on camera and they don't get canceled. What you can't do on YouTube is threaten people. You can't do anything violent, and you can't do those stupid prank videos that they do on TikTok or whatever. You can't do that. That you can't do. Talking about girls and doing this, it's not illegal. That's called freedom of expression. That kid's no, he's awake. Look, he's blinking. He's blinking. I saw him blinking. He's not dead. That kid was blinking. He's not dead. I saw him blinking. Look, his eyes are open. I did see him blink. Yeah, the kid's about again. His eyes are blinking. A dead person, their eyes don't blink. They don't do this. He was blinking, so that takes me out of the scene because I'm like, I know he's not dead. He didn't get decapitated or something. He's blinking. I saw his eyes open and it was blinking. What live person eyes are blinking? That makes no sense. I don't blame Stan Winston. It's not his fault. It's just that the kid is outside in the open, broad daylight, and he's blinking. He was like, that poor kid. No, I do feel bad for him though. Look, there's a Coca-Cola thing sign, but it's not. It's not like Madam Web with the Pepsi Cola thing. That was egregious. Here, it's like in the background. The dog's a good actor, knowing that this is not real. Help. You saw Lance Henriksen's face? Yeah. That look says everything. See, you don't have to give monologues. Just give a person a look and they'll be like, yeah, get out of my face. You almost, you nearly, you got a innocent bystander. You nearly mortally wounded them. I would never run over a child or a baby or even a dog. You have to watch, pay attention to the road. I don't get distracted when I'm in a car, even when I'm a passenger. I'm like, no, I want to get there safe. I got to get my tooth taken out in a month, guys. Wish me luck. It's on Veterans Day. I won't be doing a podcast, so I will not be doing a podcast or a review because my tooth is going to be hurting a lot. They're gonna. I got a wisdom tooth they got to take out of my mouth on November 11th. So that day I won't be doing any videos. I need a day of rest. Today I can because I'm okay. Why would you do that? Yeah, I don't like this actor's character, John Aquino, Diaquino. I don't. You nearly killed a child and you don't have any remorse for it. You bastard. Seriously. Probation? This guy should be in prison. You did this already? Yeah, Joel is a very unlikable character. If there's someone you can hate in this movie, Josh, is the guy from Cory in the House. His acting's not bad here. It's just he's not a likable character. He almost got a kid killed, and he's very unlikable. See, he's a hazard to other people. I would not put a person that does manslaughter or vehicular manslaughter to, in I would put them in prison for a long time, not probation. Probation is for people that, I don't know, do graffiti or something, not something like, not attempted murder. Jeez. Some people need to get a bigger punishment. Yeah, that kid's not dead. I saw him blinking. He was doing this. He was blinking on the ground. I'm like, he's not dead, guys. If he got decapitated, but they're not going to do that to a child. In a kid in a horror movie, no. Even Terrifier 3 wouldn't do that because they know that people are very sensitive with their children, and I get it. They're young and they're defenseless, but still, you don't have to put a shield around them. You have to let them take risks too when they get older. He's talking. He could have been in a coma. He could have been killed. It looks like the same dog from Gremlins. Yeah, I think it was in this around the same time. Trust me, if some freaking idiot try to run over my kid, I put them in prison. I'm not going to be merciful because I'm like, guys, you know me, the wicked need to be punished. Yeah, especially people that harm children and teens and all that. They need to get what's coming to them sooner than later. And this film, yeah, you feel you hate this character more than the creature. Yes, you are. No, accidents do happen, but when you're drunk, you should not be behind the wheel. Trust me, I wouldn't kill the person, but I get them arrested. I'm like, no, you do not harm your kid. You don't harm somebody else's child. Even if they behave bad, there's discipline, and then there's attempted murder, which you don't do. No one deserves that. Nobody, even the worst person in the world, should just be in prison forever. Or, if they're a serial killer, they get the chair, or the lethal injection. But you do not run them over like a dog, like roadkill. Man, that's a poor part of town. You got farm animals there, like pigs and things, chickens, goats. This does look like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's good. I still enjoy this movie, even though it's kind of a slow start. But there's, that accident reminds me of Pet Cemetery, except it's less downbeat than that. And that the kid dies, they bring him back with some injection that makes him into a killer. Put these headphones away. He gave him money. Hmm. Every little bit helps, guys. Hmm. I get that. It's going to be a little bit cooler when I go to Comic Con, but I'd rather it be like 60 degrees than raining, because I went last year and it rained and it wet my clothes, and I lost my umbrella on the train station, in the train station, and then I just was in a bad mood because I didn't get to meet all the people I wanted to. I only met one person, Catherine Newton, but hey, at least I met her, and she's adorable. She's a beautiful girl. She's not going this year, so at least I met her. She's a doll. There's a swamp area. See, Winston got good shots in the movie. There's the old lady. Hey, look, it's Hedwig from Harry Potter. Or Rat. I've seen too many of those things this year. Good makeup effects too for her. Dun, 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 dun. Hmm. So she has tarantulas there. We're 37 minutes in, so we're about a third of the way through. This thing. No. Hmm. Hmm. It's pretty quiet. Yeah, the usually horror movies are way louder than this and more noisy. Oh, jump scare. That's a condor. Skeletons. Hmm. Look at that smog and fog. 40 minutes in, we're about halfway through. There's a spot where the creature's going to show up later. Geez, there's pumpkins there, but it's not a. It's called Pumpkinhead, but his doesn't have a pumpkin for a head. Dig, 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 dig in mine the whole day through. Well, this is he's not a mine. It's a swamp area. Ugh, worms and maggots. Yeah, Lance Henriksen made a cameo in the Mario movie when I was 8 years old. It was weird to see him at the end of the movie. Like turning from that fungus into back into human form. Hmm. Because I already did Species and what else? Ghost of Mars. I did that one. Yeah, and I did all the Sharknado movies, so those are done. I'm vengeance. Oh, yeah, by blood be undone. You've seen the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, right? Especially the first one. Ugh. I donate blood. I don't let somebody slash my hand. Mm-mm. I don't believe in voodoo or any of that. No, or blood sacrifices. Mm-mm. Not for me. It's 123, so the movie's about halfway through. Ugh. That's makeup because they made her look like a witch or something. And I'm like, yeah, and there's no witches in this movie. It's a giant creature that comes from underground. It'd be fainted. He couldn't take it. There it is. It's a good practical effect. Just like an alien. That looks awesome. It comes about 45 minutes in, the full form, but it's a great special effect. Still holds up, even almost 40 years later. The kid came out and there was a dream. What? Hmm. He's calling her. Hmm. That's pretty quiet today, I guess, because it's a holiday. But I wanted to do something, because I haven't done a live stream for days. So, yep, there's the creature. I gotcha. That's a cool visual. We know, John. We know. Or Joel is his name here. Then, that's not going to help you in a horror movie. It's really not. This isn't The Exorcist, guys. This is Pumpkinhead. or a vampire movie. Not in this movie. There's a creature, a meat cleaver. Hmm. This is a creature feature. There he is, eh? There's a creature's hand. Yep, I gotcha. Told you these are going to help you in this movie. It's not. Yep, gotcha. It dragged her away. It's a little bit of Evil Dead as well because they're in a cabin in the woods, but it's a creature this time, not the undead or whatever. 52 minutes in. Look at that! Look at that claw right in her face. Yep, I'm gonna brand you. That's an image on the DVD. Well, right here, yeah. See? He has a connection to the creature. He's back in the old lady's house. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Da-da-da! Yeah, like I said, this has plenty of atmosphere, which is what a lot of horror movies missed out in the beginning of this year. Like movies like Night Swim and Tarot and freaking Imaginary. Yeah, they're not scary. They're not scary because they're so predictable and they don't have any atmosphere. You don't need CGI for atmosphere. You need, dark surroundings and music and fog and smog and the works. Yep. Look at her head. I'm going to use her as a puppet. Imagine a gremlin this big. It's pretty got a gremlin's claws, but the head of an alien. That sound, that's atmosphere, guys. I miss that in films nowadays. You have to have a good atmosphere. Say what you will about the slow parts of this movie, it has atmosphere, plenty of it. We're almost done. I'm enjoying this. It's got some downbeat parts, but it's not. It is a creature feature. You're gonna have deaths in the movie. That's bound to happen. But it's not as downbeat as Pet Cemetery. That's downbeat for no reason. Even after the kid dies, you would think that would be the worst of it. It's not, because the ending makes no sense. Look at the creature. Look at that. That's great. Yep, yep. It broke your arm. That's for Corey in the house, you douchebag. Yep, he grabs women by the face. So he's Bill Cosby. I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't be making that joke, but Bill Cosby was a creature that grabbed women in the the acting's mostly good in the film. It's not that Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, where the acting's so bad and it's so not scary that it should have never been made. They said the sequel's not as bad, but still, it's a stupid idea. It's like making Dumbo into a horror movie, or yep, she's dead. Yep, she's dead. That broke her neck. That fall, there's no way she survived that. This is a body horror movie, a body count. Joel should have gotten killed first after the kid because he deserves it the most. I had to do another podcast. I miss doing this. Even if there's only two people watching, at least, or one person, at least I'm going to see through it all the way to the end. We're almost an hour in, so we're near the end of the third act of the film. This is an old Blockbuster case. Look. See? Blockbuster. Yeah. It's an old Blockbuster case. I like to keep these as a memory. I didn't buy this at Blockbuster. I got a Blockbuster case. There's a dead bird there too. That's another dog. It's not the same dog from earlier. This dog has pointy ears. Hmm. There's a creature again. I would love to see somebody dress up at Comic Con like that, or any convention, really. That dog looks like a wolf. No, it's not dead yet. There's still 20 minutes left. If it was that easy, they could have done that like 20 minutes ago. It's not dead. Nope, it's not. Never underestimate the creature. Shh. Now that is a Halloween costume, let me tell you. Yep, you got it. Right in the chest. That's what he deserves. His death is satisfying because he's the one that caused all this to happen. If it wasn't for him killing the kid in the beginning, the creature wouldn't have gotten reborn. Come on. It's a little bit of overacting here and there, but it's not too much. Linda? People. You get to bed. And there's no CGI in this movie at all. If they remade this movie, they would just put a CG creature. It wouldn't look as good. I still prefer a guy in a suit. It looks better. That's why Alien Romulus people praise the effects because it's one of the better things about the film. Let's see my battery power. 68%. Yeah, it's still good. That's gross. Don't do that. We're, just like the kid from Spy Kids. Hmm. Well, the movie's almost over, so take some aspirin. It's only good until almost good for 2 more years, or 3 more years. Didn't work out. Look, it's all totaled. An hour and 7 minutes in. Mhm. I know. Hmm. Yep. That wasn't smart. Hmm. That is a doornail. Here comes the creature. Yep, it can still walk in there. It's not a vampire. Also, this creature walks slow. It doesn't run. Yeah, I'm sick of insignias. I don't need to see those next year. I'm tired of it. Uh, we get it already. We know what a cross means. We don't need insignias in horror. It just feels very pretentious. Even back then. An hour and 12 minutes in. We're almost done. Just a few more minutes and then the movie's over. See, it's not 2.5 hours. Some horror movies don't get to the point. You don't need to be over 2 hours if you're not a miniseries. You got to be short and sweet. If there's one genre that doesn't need to be 3 hours, it's horror because people just want to go in and go out and go home. Save that for your crime dramas and documentaries. Don't put it in a horror movie. That's why It Chapter 2 was so, people hated it so much because it's so long. Hello. Blah. I think that blah is Frank Welker's voice. Maybe. Sounds like him. Yep. Yeah, most of the movie takes place at night in the second half. The first half is in the daytime before Pumpkinhead shows up. It's almost done. Gotcha. He stepped on him. Those with those big feet of his. I do want to live. Mm-hmm. Lighting candles. You hear it? A flamethrower. Here we go. No, a jump scare. Yeah, there's a couple of jump scares in the movie. It's just a dog from the beginning. In. Oh, yeah, the dog is mad. Oh no, the candles are going out. Hmm. The main thing is that the creature look good. It does. It still does. Yeah, him and the creature are connected. They're kind of like the main villain in Dragonheart. He has half a dragon's heart, so he has to. In order for him to die, the dragon has to die. That's what I hated about the first Dragonheart. That they had to kill the dragon. Yep, eye to eye. This was a foreshadowing of Stan Winston's all other amazing effects in the '90s with Jurassic Park and the Lost World and etc. Flame on. The tall creature too. Yep. They're connected, so they have to die together. I don't know. I don't remember the sequel if they had to do the same thing. I think because the sequel is different. Bloody Wings or whatever it's called. It's a different movie altogether. It's got a completely different cast and no Henriksen this time. It still got some decent effects in it though. The sequel took a couple years to make because it didn't come out in the '80s. It came out in the early '90s. Yep, it's dead now because it's an hour and 21 minutes into the movie. Maybe you'll see this movie eventually, Josh, so you could at least see the first two. Don't even bother with 3 and 4 because they're bad. I'm not a completionist. If I don't like a sequel, I'm not going to see it through all of them because some of them deserve to just not be completely ignored. Like some of the Highlander sequels, it should have just been one movie because they did all these sequels and a lot of them are terrible. So 3 is decent, but it could have been a lot better too. Yep, the creature's burning. And a couple of characters are still alive, so it's not a complete downbeat ending. Burning just like the Terminator did in the first one, that the skin burned off and then it became a skeleton. Even that old lady stays alive at the end. The one that looks like a witch. The music is really good. There's the pendant from the next. So in the sequel, they could save the body for the sequel in a couple years after this. Yep, buried in the ground. And that was Pumpkinhead from 1985. Still a good movie, but it's got a mixed ending for me. Not something that ruins it, but at least the guys that die to get what they deserve, like John Aquino's character, because he was a scumbag. But that was the movie. I'm glad you guys watched it with me. The two of you that showed up, thanks for watching. I'll do a podcast tomorrow, but it's something different. But I'm glad I did this one finally. So I'm not doing the sequels. I need to see the second one again to see if it still holds up. But this one definitely does. And it's the original. Oh, the best one is the original Pumpkinhead from 1985. So thanks for watching. Acknowledge me, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. End.